Good morning, good evening, everyone. We are back for another F1 Fantasy Deadline stream for the Chinese Grand Prix. I hope you're doing well. Everything on my side is up and running as far as I can tell, but as has been the theme on this channel, there's going to be no doubt as many technical gremlins as I'm sure Aston Martin have. So I hope you guys are having a great Friday night, Saturday morning, wherever you are in the world. For some of you in Europe, it's 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. So yeah, let's get through this together for the next 2 hours. It's going to be a good one. Lots to talk about, so much to dissect. I'm here for a banger. Merv, welcome to the Formula Fantasy Hub members area as a champion tier. Very happy to have you on board. Brian, hope you're well. Aaron, hope you're doing well. Mike, Swaya, Sean, great to have you back. Syndex, Lomi, RFT. Plenty of you guys in the chat already. We love to see it. So yeah, looking forward to crunching the numbers and dissecting the data with you guys for the next hour and 57. But yeah, very excited. It's going to be a lot to talk about, to be honest. I feel like today I've just been mulling over what to do with my teams, and I have gone back and forth over so many different permutations, but you can see that on my team 2 and my team 3 I've already made some transfers and some moves. So not all hope is lost, but all of the anxiety is absolutely landing on that team 1 on the left hand side. No chips active yet, no transfers made yet, so lots to talk about. I'm pretty pumped, to be honest. I'm just gonna move that across a little bit, and yeah, we've got a lot to get through, so I'm pretty pumped, guys. I hope you are too. And like I said, for those of you waking up early or surviving like Ty, man, 1 o'clock in the UK. That's brave. Neo Cynical, Max, great to have you back. Andreezy, The Red, Beeble Bios, Bonzo, Brant, great to have you, man. Jack's already asking for a poll completely unrelated to F1 Fantasy, so maybe I will. But yeah, lots to get through. Let's start with an easy one. Let's start with an easy poll, and Tom's in the chat as well. Show some love to Tom, the OG F1 Fantasy content creator this week. Of all time, I should say. I'm going to put a poll up. 3x, Limitless, other, none. Let me know what you guys are thinking for your chip this week. I'm pretty on the fence at the moment. Dean, great to have you here. So many questions already. So let's pack it up and pack it in. Let it begin. Tom, I'll do my best to keep you awake, mate. I know you and I have both had awful anxiety over what direction we want to go with our chip strategy this week. I feel like it's one moment it's Limitless, the next it's 3x boost. There's so many good arguments for both. So I'm honestly a bit stumped, but we'll do our best to get through it all. Can we get Rob to do the Macarena on stream? I don't even know how the Macarena goes. Let's start with some quick questions, some quick fire questions. Lomi's asked, first year of F1 Fantasy, just trying to figure out what's going on. Team is Russell, Leclerc, Bam, Lawson, Lindblad with Ferrari Red Bull, Racing Bulls as constructors. Any suggestions? Honestly, that is like the best team for the Limitless this week, in my opinion. If you've got Russell, Leclerc, Bam, Lawson, Lindblad, Ferrari Racing Bulls, and you're tripled up on Racing Bulls, which is already a risk enough, I'd probably pull the Limitless on that, to be honest. If I was running that team, it would be a much easier decision for me just to hedge my bets off the triple Racing Bulls. So yeah, probably Limitless with that. Igor Tudor saying hello. He'll be saying goodbye soon. I don't see him surviving the Liverpool clash. Zardes is playing. If you can't get rid of Bottas, I think you got to grind it out for another week. But like, you could probably get him out in 2 trades, right, Zardes? What else have we got on here? But yeah, Tom's in the chat, who's one of the OG F1 fantasy creators. Give Tom a follow on Twitter. He's been around longer than I've been alive doing F1 fantasy content creation. He's not actually that old. He's probably about my age, if I'm guessing. Sorry, mate. But yeah, Tom's been the longest tenured F1 fantasy content creator, in as far as I'm aware. But yeah, the poll is interesting. We've got more people on the 3X than the Limitless. I did not expect that, but I feel like my team is my team 1 is quite nicely set up for the 3X. And there are more tracks for, I think like we can kind of skin this cat way too many ways. And I'm going to feel like a bit of a broken record over the next 2 hours or so. But yeah, like pros with the 3X is you've got both Mercedes drivers looking good. Are they going to be this good for the rest of the season? We don't know. And it's kind of a chip that if you get it out of the way now, it just means you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the season with repositioning your team, going from 1A driver to a constructor back into the 2A driver. And I just think that's like a bit of a faff. So I think that's another huge argument for the 3X. But then for the Limitless, especially if you've got a team of 7 assets rising in value, it's almost a no-brainer. It's like they're all going up, so use the Limitless. We're bridging the gap from one less week of running, the 2A driver, 1A constructor, so you're not having to tolerate running Haas or Racing Bulls as your second constructor. I think as well, like there's a pretty clearly defined top 2 teams. Yes, Leclerc didn't look great yesterday, but I still think he's easily on my Limitless team if I went down that path. And yeah, I think you can make arguments for both for sure. But yeah, interesting to see 3X on the poll. What else we got in the chat? The Reds asking, Russell, Leclerc, Behrman, Bortoleto, Lindblad, Ferrari, Haas, what to do, chip or no chip? I mean, that's pretty much my team, isn't it? Except for Behrman. Behrman swapped for Lawson. And how can you afford that team? I think it's definitely a chip team. Definitely a chip team, Limitless or 3X for me. Sounds like coffee's needed for Tom for sure. About to go to sleep for 2 hours and saw the notification. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it, mate. Sam and McKenna Dent. I have the same T1 considering playing the 3X, also considering transfer Leclerc to Antonelli. Yeah, I mean, if I'm transferring Antonelli in, I'm 100% playing the 3X on Team 1. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. I'm not going to transfer in Antonelli and not play the 3X, but I totally get it. I think that's a perfectly good move, Sam and McKenna. My T2 is your Team 1. I think the Team 2, I've made a transfer. I think I moved Hulkenberg out for Colapinto. I don't think there's Colapinto hype. I just think it's more like a hedge off triple Racing Bulls, to be honest. Grant Bass Ford, Holden or Ford? For me, I am a Holden man for sure. But my family didn't grow up. I didn't grow up in a Holden or a Ford for that matter. I just feel like Holden's like they're both Aussie cars. Holden's my guy. Moustache Mania, you know it. You absolutely know it, Brant. I'm using the 3X for my Russell, Antonelli, Behrman, Lindblad, Bortoleto, and Ferrari V-Carb, Limitless. Yeah, sounds good, Voltaire. Love that. I've gone for the 3X on T1, bringing in Antonelli for Leclerc, then Limitless T2. Ben, love that. Dean's gone McLaren and Bottas to Antonelli and Haas, or Bortoleto and Bottas to Colapinto and Perez. Good one. I mean, McLaren, Dean, that's like a pretty differential play. And they don't look too bad, honestly. It's a tricky one. I mean, it depends. If you're looking at moving to Antonelli and Haas, right, I assume you think that Mercedes are going to be better. Antonelli Haas are probably better budget growth assets. I'd probably just go the Antonelli Haas, to be honest. Yeah, get off Bottas. Macarena. 3X with Russell and Leclerc is very strong. I completely agree. I feel like the 3X loses value of not running 4 A-tier assets. Is my thought process wrong? Not necessarily. The problem is, though, if if you're running a 3x, there's law of averages says that Lawson, Lindblad, Bortoleto, Behrman, Ocon are all due DNFs in the next couple of races. And so my guess is that, if you're running a 3x this weekend, be prepared to take a hit on one of those drivers not finishing the race. Like there is zero chance those midfield drivers that didn't retire last week all survive this time around. I'd say it's extremely low odds. So you kind of have to accept that, maybe it's 50 points on the 3x plus whatever DNFs your team gets. But I guess you can make the argument for that every time you're having the 3x active. New computer, not the same old dog shit thing I have at the moment. Sorry for the French, or excuse my French, I should say. This computer is not getting upgraded anytime soon. But you might notice I don't have a couple of things on the right hand side. My 2x options I removed because I feel like it's a no-brainer, and I cover that in my final thoughts. But I also don't have the live stream chat, and I wonder, I'm going to test it out this stream. It probably has no correlation at all to the stream, but I removed it because I thought, is an extra widget creating the stream? Like, is it making the stream work too hard? So I took it out. So that's why we just got the wider screen, nothing on the right-hand side. Tom, surprised more 3x in here than Limitless, although I'm currently on 3x. Yeah, you are, mate. Me too. Keep Pop Pan Man awake. I think it also depends on team value as well, though. I mean, like, that's the kind of the budget building argument. Locked in from Denver, Richard. I didn't know you're in the US. Right on. East Coast over here. I've missed a couple questions. 3x or Limitless for a team with max price rises in Oz? Limitless, probably, right? Is it worth bailing on Russell in order to pick up Mercedes? Not this week, I don't think. I think I mean, you could, right? Like, I could do that. I could go Russell, Haas for Mercedes, Perez, but I'm not that excited about it. I just feel it would be easy to use Limitless later than 3x. Yes, me too. It's for me, I mean, the poll is closer, right? And I don't think there's a wrong answer. But I just think, for me, like, the team is already ready for the 3x, whereas it's going to need some work down the line where transfers could be more valuable to move off those toxic DNF assets, which we're all going to be hit with at some point. Quarter miles, thoughts on Ferrari, Mercedes, and Leclerc, Lindblad, Behrman, Bortoleto? Yeah, I mean, that's the one I was just talking about, right? It's a risk running Perez and Hulkenberg. I don't know if I'd run that myself personally. So like I might have, theoretically, you can see on screen here, like the 3x is active on my team 3. There's a very high chance I run the Limitless on team 1 just to like diversify strategy a little bit. Lucathon, I have Russell, Leclerc, Lawson, Lindblad, Behrman. Far out. I got some catching up to do. Think going Limitless, yeah, Luke, like that. Triple Racing Bull's better than Triple Haas. No, I think Triple Haas, but I wouldn't do either if you could avoid it. I think we will see a lot of people with Triple Racing Bulls this week just because they're on average cheaper than the Haas guys. Hayden's asking, would you do Leclerc and Lawson to Antonelli and Bottas to activate the 3S and have a team of Ross, Antonelli, Bottas, play Limitless? I don't think I'd bring. If you've got Russell, yeah, you got the Russell. Hayden, I'd honestly stick with Leclerc. I don't think you'd want to go near Bottas because that's just, you're losing value at this point in the season. Best Limitless team, it's on the ticker. My best Limitless and 3x options are on the ticker, so any questions you guys ask on that, I will not be answering. There's already an awful amount of questions. Is your team one my main team? Yes. Someone in my mini league picked Alonso unironically because he fit their budget. Well, he'll be the cheapest asset in the game. I followed you last year and got a very good score. Thank you. I'm glad it helped. I have team 1 thoughts on swapping Leclerc and Bortoleto for Antonelli and Colapinto. Love that. We have a new member, Scratty Gal. Welcome to the Hub Club as a race winner. We love to see it. Welcome. It might be a drain. It very well might be a drain. Yeah, it will, Mike. It will indeed. With Limitless, do you reckon McLaren will have a better weekend than Ferrari? It feels like that at the moment, doesn't it, Danny? Maybe that's, again, another reason why like the Limitless argument holds so much stock right now. I'm not saying triple up at McLaren. I think that's probably a little ambitious for my liking. Because Charles was quicker than Oscar in all but the last qualifying session yesterday. Lewis, I think I back Ferrari, honestly, over McLaren. I do, yeah. I'd probably throw Lando. I guess I've got Lando in there. Before the stream started, I actually had Oscar instead of Lando on the Limitless ticker. And I kind of just preferred Oscar because he looked much better than Lando last week in practice and qualifying. I felt like he's had, I don't know, maybe it's my Aussie bias in there, but I just think I prefer Oscar. But Lando was faster than him in sprint qualifying. He was faster than Oscar in free practice 1 as well. And Lando, I guess the argument for Lando is that he's higher owned. Like, no one will have Lando Norris in their fantasy teams, whereas you might have a few people from Australia still carrying over Oscar Piastri if they haven't got rid of him already. Suzy, I'm well, mate. Norris or Max for Limitless? I got Norris at the moment. ATEM. 3x on Russell Leclerc. I'll give it a few weeks for Russell Antonelli. Could you not do Ollie Russell Antonelli this week? I mean, Russell Leclerc's fine. It's like my alternate option, honestly. It's difficult. Might even be worth holding McLaren through China and then bidding. Yeah, perhaps. I mean, could you wildcard it next week in Japan? Dean. Bortoleto Perez to Lindblad Colapinto. Yep, Trevor, I love that. I have your team one. Thoughts on? I think I answered that question. Hello from Tokyo. Great city. One of my favorite cities in the world, Tokyo. Hello, Kizan. The pace from McLaren is what spooked me off Limitless because to me the top 5 drivers is now slightly less obvious. I mean, that's a very valid question. This is Lindblad's first time in China, right? It is indeed. It is indeed. But he felt confident. If you listen to his post-quali interview or post-practice interview yesterday, Lindblad was particularly optimistic given the fact it was his first proper time on this track in an F1 car. Rob, if no Limitless, thoughts on Leclerc Antonelli and downgrading Lindblad to Lawson Ranger? I think that's fine. If you can get to Antonelli, I would definitely try. I just think Mercedes have extremely good race pace. They will be hard to beat. And Kimi definitely has driver of the day upside, which George just doesn't. So an argument for obviously doing the 3X. I'm looking to move off my Racing Bulls assets. I can't lie. Probably move to Haas Constructor my T3. That's valid. Lawson or Colapinto. What's the toss-up between Limitless 3X and no chip? There's a poll for that. Etten. Hey, Rob, at the moment I have Rob. I have Rob. I wish I was a fantasy asset. I have Ferrari, Haas, Perez, Behrman, Colapinto, Leclerc, Kimi with 3.5 in the bank. Should I transfer someone for Perez and have 3 transfers next week? Use Limitless or do nothing? With that team, Mr. Alex, I'd probably just go Limitless. I wouldn't get Perez in. If you're burning a transfer, I think it's even a better argument to... If you're not using a transfer this weekend, I think, like, why then not use the Limitless, right? I might use no negative on one team. I think no negative's fair. I think Rain was thinking about it, but I get the impression, having watched his video today, that that's less the case now. So yeah, 42% are on 3X. I mean, I've got, as you guys saw, I've already got it active on Team 3. But it's been pretty split. I mean, in terms of like the people I've spoken to today, I know Mike, Rebecca, Michael, you guys have all thought about pulling a chip. Miguel, great to have you in the chat as well. Ewan is, as far as I'm aware, more on 3X. Adam feels like he's more on 3X. Rain is definitely not on Limitless because he has to ditch Hulkenberg. Tom, I think, is on 3X. I'm on 3X-ish, but not... I mean, I'm probably like 60-40... one and the other, like 60%. I mean, it changes every hour for me. That's the problem. Like I can't say I'm wholly set, and I might just let you guys make the decision for me this week. Russell had 10% driver of the day vote in Melbourne. Is he due a +10 at some point, despite what we all think? Probably, man. I mean, like, that's a thing, right? Like, the thing about George, I know, Tom, we were talking about this I don't know when it was, recently, I think. It's like, he's never gonna like excite you. He's boring. He's good boring, George Russell. He will get you 20 to 30 points almost every race week. Certainly this season, closer to 30. He has had, 5 DNFs in the last 4 seasons or something. He's on a streak of 30 plus races without a retirement. So he may not have the same ceiling as someone like an Antonelli or a Leclerc, but honestly, like, he's probably due. And like, if George bangs on the driver of the day, his score is going to be insanely high. So Yeah, he's probably due, right? But does he win it? Does he get it from pole? I don't think for George Russell he's not gonna get driver of the day starting on pole. He might get it from like a 5th to 1st. But the problem is, like, even Lando last year, best driver in the best car. Oh, sorry, not best driver, but good driver in the best car isn't going to win it often. Like, Max didn't win it in 2023. Lando didn't win it at all last year. I mean, George has never really won it, and now he's got the best car. He probably won't. So he's probably due, but it's got to be some kind of heroic effort to win it. What else have we got in the chat? Miguel, sorry, I think you asked the question. I missed it. Mike's doing the absolute best. Hey, Miguel, great to have you back. Glad. I mean, what time is it for you? You're a couple hours behind me, aren't you? T1, Russell Antonelli, Lindblad, Behrman, Colapinto, Ferrari, Vico, lean towards a 3X. Yeah, man. Oh, you are in Mexico. Sorry, I thought you were in the US. Or maybe I'm mistaken. I guess we did meet up in Vegas, right? But no, never mind. Yeah, I'm not going to forget you, Miguel. One of the few subscribers that I've met in person. Isaac, Rob, something I'm trying to evaluate is if the delta for Monaco drops if other teams can get to Ferrari, Mercedes by then. Yeah, exactly, Isaac. That's kind of why you leaving it that late puts me off Limitless and Monaco. But the upside is obviously... Sorry, I'm not speaking into the mic. The upside is obviously the overtakes. The thing is, though, like, you're looking at the team calculator, right? I'll just go over here for a sec. I had this up before. It's a 370-point Limitless estimate. I'd throw, Norris, Piastri. I'm not sure. It seems wild to go without Max, to be honest, on a Limitless. But he's just not confident in that Red Bull. It's 373 versus a team of like 230. Like, my suggested team would be, I think, like 234 when I was looking at it before. My suggested team this week would be 234. So I would have this team even if I didn't go 3X. So it's pretty chunky, that delta. 234 plays 3. Oh, you got to exclude Haas. 234 plays 374. So 140 points. That's massive. Bigger than any other delta, but I guess we don't know what we don't know. Bruno, what's up, man? How you doing, brother? No negative. It is flying under the radar. I think no negative is going to be the differential play every race this season, though, right? So many DNF risks. So many DNF risks. So you pulled trigger on it? Because I think you were toying with the idea before, weren't you? Opinions on double points for Haas for the sprint. Don't think they're going to get double points. Are you talking like the 2X chip frenzy, or are you talking just their projections? I think Behrman and Ocon are probably a little conservative. I'd put them closer to 15 points each across the weekend, but you just never know. I guess the DNF risk has been factored into their estimates, which is much higher for those midfield guys. So is everyone moving to a 2A for Japan? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it'll be hard for a lot of teams because we're obviously coming from those that have Limitless, right? You're going to come with 2 teams. Most people can't get to a 3A, 2 of which are Constructors in 2 transfers. But again, like, if you're bringing in Mercedes, right, they probably are worth the -10 in my opinion. Shared my moves yet? Not for my team one, I have not. I got some catching up to do. Jeez. So many people in here tonight. Drop a like, guys, as well. I'm not going to bug you all night for showing the channel some love, but always helps with getting the F1 fantasy exposure up and out them. I can't see. There we go. 44 likes. So yeah, not too bad. Could be better. We've had a couple of new joiners. Jack White, Mervyn, and Scratty Gal. Love to see it. All right, Tom, I saw another question from you. I didn't get to. 3X on Kimi or Leclerc. Kimi, Russell, driver of the day is Mr. Saturday, not Mr. Sunday. Fact. RFT, he'd need to be in the bottom 5 quality to get driver of the day. That's true. I've got some catching up to do. I really do try to pride myself on getting through these questions, but you guys are absolutely inundating me with them, so I love that. Stressful deadline. I'm no closer to making a decision. I do think I'll go 3X at the moment, but I'm happy to be persuaded. Early thoughts are 3X. It's probably like a 55-45 3X Limitless. 100% I use a chip though. What's the argument for Limitless this weekend and not Miami or Canada? Because a lot of people have assets rising in value. It just seems very well set up, while Mercedes, Ferrari are two very strong teams. Rebecca, I imagine you and Mike are probably splitting time between between me and Ewan and Zach and everyone else, but the love is always appreciated all the same. What's the conditions for no negative? Just general reliability, I think. Janav. I don't like holding Limitless due to potential changes in team performance, and Limitless gets weaker with every race. You're right. Proven fail safe. 3x if you have Russ and Leclerc, Antonelli, and Limitless if you have Leclerc, Antonelli with 6-7 assets. 6-7. I don't even know what that means. I'm too old for this Gen Z stuff, but every time I've said that by accident, someone does that. Think he means Haas finishing 2 drivers above 10. Yeah, got it. Going Limitless. Does Russell, Leclerc, nor Verstappen make sense? My Limitless team is on the ticker. Hey, Quarter Miles with a super chat, brother. Thank you so much, my friend. Can you give me the benefits of 2A drivers versus 2A constructors? Yeah. I'll give you full 5 minutes. Full 5 minutes of that breakdown. So I'm assuming we're talking this weekend. So right now, the 2A driver advantage, I think is definitely favorable if you're running the 3X this week. So, of course, Russell, Antonelli, a no-brainer. The other thing is running a 2A driver lineup means you have a B tier constructor, a VCARB or a Haas in that constructor slot. So the likelihood of a 0.6 price rise for the constructor is so much higher than a driver, because even if one of those drivers DNFs, for someone like Haas, right, if we go over to the budget builder, even a Haas DNF or a VCARB DNF, they should still be fine for the 0.6. Whereas if you're running a Behrman or a Lindblad and they DNF, like they're pretty much guaranteed to drop 0.6. So the advantages, aside from the 3X chip, is that you're also protecting against the higher likelihood of a B tier driver versus an extra B tier constructor, or extra B tier driver versus a B tier constructor, if that makes sense. But I think a lot of people, if you're going down the 2A constructor lineup this weekend, it's kind of like inverse argument, right? You're obviously sacrificing budget growth in favor of points. But if you're going for a 2A constructor this week for like Mercedes, Ferrari, a lot of teams will already have that on Limitless. So is it that much of an advantage? It's almost like I would look at going 3A this week with 2 of the constructors. You're kind of course you'll score more points, but you're also trying to protect against the Limitless teams from soaring. Whereas I think right now, if you're going the 2A driver, it's pretty much 3X or Limitless. Like I think for me, if I'm sticking with 2A driver this week, then I'm going Limitless. Then I'm going 3X. Sorry, I can't even get my words out. But I do think, yeah, I think there's the points, obviously, the points upside for the constructors is the main argument, and then the budget upside for the drivers is the main one. But for me right now, I think while there's a huge argument for 3X because a lot of us have 2A drivers and 1A constructor. So my point of view on that is you're probably better off if you're already, which we all are, already in like that 2A driver, 1A constructor lineup, then it kind of makes sense to go for the 3X while the chip is right in front of us. I just think the 2A constructor in 1 to 2 weeks time, everyone will be on. So I don't feel like you need to rush to get there right now, and kind of risk the budget. Cause like what would be maybe an extra 30 points this week is maybe an extra 0.5 million in budget loss. I was actually looking at that earlier, right? So if we look at like my team, like my theoretical moves this week would be, like Antonelli, Colapinto in for, I mean, I would actually take out Bortoletto, not Lindblad, but like that 1.5 in value and 230 in points versus you know, half a mil, 3/4 of a mil. So you're going for half the budget for like what, 10, 15 extra points. I'm just not sure it's worth it at this point. I don't know if I really answered your question, but I think, yeah, in summary, it's 2A drivers are better for budget gain, and the 3X this week, 2A constructors, I kind of think a short-term points play, but again, we're all going to have that in a couple of weeks. But again, mate, hit me up in the Discord if you want to pick my brains on that, because I'll happily answer any more questions about that moving forward. Siobhan is asking, Limitless better for China or Japan? It's tough. It's what, 140 point delta this week? I think it'll be pretty similar next week. Planning on running 3X one week and Limitless the other. I wouldn't run 3X in Japan, Siobhan. I'd save that for either this week or Miami. Or actually, no, I don't even think I'd be running the 3X in Miami personally. If I don't run it in China, I'm not using it until we get to Singapore, most likely. So I think based on those chips, Siobhan, I'd go Limitless this week. 3X this week, Limitless in like either Japan or Miami or Monaco. I'm not going to say that, Zardes. 6-7 assets will increase in value. True. Thoughts on doing one sub Lawson to Perez? Nico's asking. I wouldn't go to Perez. I'd just hold Lawson personally. Could you go Lawson to Colapinto? Do you have enough money for that? I don't hate that. I also don't have the broadcast up because my subscription, would you believe my F1 TV subscription expired today? I haven't linked it to my Apple account, so I don't have anything running in the background. I don't know. So Albon starting from the pit lane makes Perez a slightly worse pick for anyone going there. Is that confirmed, Tom? I didn't even see that news. If I did miss it, I apologize. I think you are making a mistake if you don't play the 3X this weekend. Rain's all in on the 3X. I'm looking for is there anything on Medland? There's something on Medland. Okay, I'll just repost that. So there you go. Good pick up there by Tom. So it makes Perez slightly worse because he'll be now starting P21. Okay, a few more questions to get through. I'm no closer to my own team. Jesus. Do you think 3X Leclerc, 2X Antonelli is risky? No, it's not, but I'd put the 3X on Antonelli and the 2X on Leclerc. Could do a RFT, real funny talk. Could do 3X Russell, 2X Hamilton to be different. Hamilton does love this track. He's had such a good record here over the years. I actually watched the 2014 Chinese Grand Prix today, the highlights, and he won that race. And then he won the sprint here last year. My Limitless Delta is 141. Would you run Limitless? Yeah, probably. I mean, that's why so many people are running it this week because the Delta is so absurdly high. You guys don't want to be looking at the news there. Let's go back to my team. How can I apply for your discount for F1 Fantasy Tools? So go onto their website, and I'll just show it now for anyone that's interested in becoming a member of F1 Fantasy Tools using my code for an extra discount. So you go into their pricing. So hit more. I probably need to put this in the description, but my discount code is in the description. You can go into the three dots here, hit more, go to price, choose the plan. I use Pro Plus. Surprise, surprise. But I do think the starter or the Pro are both excellent as well. And then when you hit the purchase plan, just throw my membership in the discount. My discount in the thing. South Frio, if you do 3X with Russell Leclerc, who would you put the 3X on? Russell. How many questions have I missed? Would you take out Bortoletto over Lindblad? Yes, I would. I might go to Leclerc and Lawson, Antonelli and Perez doing the 3X. Thoughts? Yeah, I'd probably leave Leclerc in there and put the 2X on him if you already have Russell, JG, CCCCCCC. Rebecca, if you have Russell and Leclerc, do you think worth 3X Leclerc and saving transfer rather than 2 transfers to get Russell Antonelli? I mean, that's my conundrum, right? And I'm probably a little biased here. I guess, Rebecca, it depends on who you're putting in that slot, right? So for me, I can do this and I have no qualms with running a team like this. But if that slot is Perez instead, I'm less motivated by that. I'd probably just leave Leclerc in there and put the 2x on him. It's all speculative though. Like Colapinto could easily have a DNF and it's all for nothing, right? I don't know. Where did you land on that, Rebecca? Are you? I mean, I feel like Antonelli, Russell are just so good for this free X. So feels like a no-brainer. Leonidas stunts. I'm debating if I should do 2 moves to get Russell Antonelli into the 3x or use Limitless. Good budget gains either way. Kimmy penalty or no? No penalty as far as I'm aware. Ay. You guys are unbelievable. So many questions in the chat. We'd love to see it. Almost 100 likes on the video too. How good is this? 350 of you in the live chat. A banger for a Friday night. This is why I stay in on a Friday night. I'm not going to be at the pub. I'm not going to be sinking beers with my mates. I'm literally going to be shooting the shit with you. Sorry, again, I'm just very excited. I'm going to be shooting a good time with you guys on stream. So that's how I like to spend my Friday nights. Blake Palmer, another member of the channel. Love to see it. Would you take a -10 to get rid of triple racing bulls and put in Lewis instead of Charles to make it work? No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Guess, okay. I like all my teams. I might just try for three transfers. Fair enough, Max. So I think I answered Rebecca's question. I just think, yeah, Leonida, I think Russell and Antonelli are definitely, if you can get there in 2 moves and not have Bottas or Perez, then I think great. Otherwise just Limitless it. Jason, accurate Rain impression. I'm not an impressionist, but I do know Rain. Laura Colapinto, Lindblad or Bortoletto, Lindblad. I'm almost certain for 6 rising assets. Should I Limitless? Yeah, I may as well, right? I'm probably going to do that, or I'll probably go 3x. Thought you had me at then. Big decisions already. It's crazy that we're second week. Exactly right, Felix. We're second race into the season. It's probably one of the most decisive weekends when it comes to strategy. I mean, I was posting about this today, right? Or yesterday for some of you guys. It's like there are people that are throwing down their Limitless. There are people that are throwing down their 3x. There are people that are contemplating no negative, -10, roll the transfer, burn the transfer, wildcard. It's so refreshing. Like I play other fantasy sports and it's like the strategy is just so predefined for X number of races or rounds. And it's like you can't be different because it is so optimal, but there are so many optimal ways. I mean, you can say that about every fantasy sport, right? But there are just so many optimal ways to play this game right now, especially with the regulations, which throw such a spanner in the works. And, you know, I mean, like Porsche F1, if you follow him on Twitter, like he's going Limitless potentially. And then, you know, there are people like Ewan and Rain who are going 3x and I'm on the fence. And then Tom might be going 3x or Limitless. It's just like there's not like a clearly one defined strategy. And I don't, even though like, yes, we have opinions and I think that's perfectly fine. I don't really feel like anyone is like thrusting a strategy down everyone's throats and saying this is the only way to play this game. And I think that's what's so good about F1 Fantasy, certainly this year as well. So it's been a fun start to the season for sure. If I only use 1 transfer this week, will I have 3 in Japan? Yes, you will, Leonardo. Would you take a -10 to get rid of... I think I answered that one. You guys are my mates. You're right, Max. You are. You're my parasocial friends. 100%. That's why I love doing these with you guys. Quarter miles is settled on 3x, same as your team one, except V-Cup instead of Haas and Bam instead of Lawson. I mean, if you watch my deadline stream, you would have seen I was toying between Bam and Racing Bulls or Haas Lawson. So all pretty much the same. Hope the 223 budget hits. I hope it does too, mate. I hope it does too. Happy to be here from San Francisco, polishing up my team on the money league with my friends last year and trying to go back to back. That's the way, Devin. That's the way. Happy to have you here, mate. Mate, the moustache is Igor Tudor. Igor Tudor. Love you, bro. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Is it Igor Tudor? I feel like it's more... Does he even have a moustache? I forgot. I should know this. He's the coach of my football team. I didn't think he had a moustache. I just thought he had a lack of... I guess he's more of a beard than a moustache, right? 40 minutes into the stream, it's holding up okay. But as you guys know, if you tune in for these streams, it usually starts to get a little nervous around the 55 to 65 minute mark. So just, yeah. The stream's holding up all right. It's doing better than an Aston Martin right now. Lindblad or Bortoletto? Lindblad. Leclerc or Hamilton? Leclerc. Limitless, despite having Hulk, rest of the team is good. I would probably, wondering Oliver's, I mean, if you had, like this team here, team 3, I had Hulkenberg in one of the slots. I can't remember who the other driver was, and I took them out. I took Hulkenberg and someone out. I think it was Bortoletto. Took Hulkenberg and Bortoletto out for Colapinto and Lindblad, and then played the 3X. If I had Hulkenberg in my team, I'd be playing the 3X without a doubt. China allows TIO2, so Kimmy's ready to go. Limitless Team 1, Roll Transfer Team 2, X3, Team 3. That's kind of what I'm going to do here, potentially, Claudio. Which, again, maybe splitting the strategy for my Team 1 makes the most sense for a Limitless over here. I feel like there is, more of a desire for me to go Limitless just to mix things up. I do want to play Limitless this weekend because there probably won't be a better time for it. Haas for RB Jr. Haas. The moustache is not great. It's objectively shocking by me, but I'm mixing it up. I'm growing out my hair a little bit, growing out the facial hair a little bit. I'm at that point in my life where I'm just mixing things up a little bit. Okay, what else have we got? There are a couple of questions I missed. I like how the saying is throw the spanner in when American saying is throw a wrench in. Same thing, different vocab. 100% Devin. There are so many things that I say that my American colleagues at work will be like, what the hell does that mean? And I'm like, what are you talking about? There was one the other day, and when it's all done and dusted. So like, I think this is very Aussie and I think very British as well. It's like when something ends or it's all wrapped up, you go, it's all done and dusted. And one of my colleagues in New York here was like, what the hell does that mean? Are you losing your marbles? And I was like, my marbles were lost long ago. But yeah, it's just very, very fascinating listening to, or like adjusting to how different mannerisms are. I get to relearn them all when I move to London later in the year. Rob, have you thought about putting a bot agent in auto reply to questions already asked? I haven't yet, Ranger Danger. I probably should. I don't know if YouTube has that ability. I'm sure it does, and I'm not smart enough to figure that out yet. But we had 500 votes, and more people are on 3X, so that's interesting. Yeah, I should think about that, but yeah, hopefully I can get around to that. I know they do it on Twitch, so I assume it happens. It's also a thing on YouTube as well. Hey, I have the Meta V-Cub lineup except Bottas instead of Lindblad. Does this make Limitless a bad play for me, or what should I do? I mean, it's not the end of the world if you have Bottas and you want to go Limitless, right? I mean, everything about fantasy sports is like optimal. And I get that because obviously to win, you need to be optimal and you need to have luck. But at the same time, I just think, there's so many different ways. If you lose a little bit of budget this week, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, I mean, Bottas is not a deal breaker for a Limitless, but I think if I had him, I'd probably be leaning more towards 3X. So yeah, almost 500, colleagues, co-workers, 100%, even almost 500 votes, and we had 3X. So I feel like the Limitless shout was so much more vocal on Twitter and social media. And I get it, but I think we're going to see a delta like that most race weekends. Ryder has new sims. I haven't even... Oh, yeah, there you go. They're up. Yeah, so similar to me, right? It looks like... Yeah, it looks like Limitless. That's what Ryder's going. Team calculator. That's what I want. We are not here to F spiders. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, but those kind of expressions in Australia don't exist anywhere else, do they, right? Not here to put boots on caterpillars. I don't think the Sims have actually changed that much. It was, 374 before? It's now 371. Bearman's gone, and that's surely going to have the Albon grid penalty as... No? I guess it's because Williams are so slow, right? Yeah, there's not a whole lot of difference to the top team. How do I do 3x? You go hit apply chips and select the 3x button. Haha, me as an American working in the US. Why do you say ain't so much? In the UK. Hulk to Colapinto or Lawson to Bortoletto. Hulk to Colapinto. Phoenix Strike has a similar team. First one, but Racing Bulls instead of Hascott Behrman. Can't figure out if I should... I'd just go the Limitless. That's like an optimal Limitless team. That Behrman V-Cub one instead of the Lawson Haas one. Surely if you're team one, you Limitless, you're going to build a fair budget. Yeah, look, I'm probably 50-50 on it each. I have no idea what to do, though. Rain says hi. Thank you, guys. So there's... How many of you... Some of you guys must be watching Rain. Tell Rain I impersonated him. And he's got to... Tell Rain I impersonated him. Tell Rain I do a terrible impersonation of him, actually. He won't understand it until he rewinds like 10-15 minutes in this video. I also love the fact... I don't know about you guys, but everyone of the community, of course, super engaged, super friendly, but all of the content creators are super supportive of one another as well, which is what I like to see. Rain, get out of my chat. Rain, get out of my chat. Aren't you streaming? Give me timestamp now. It was probably... Oh, hang on. I could find it for you. It was when I was looking on Twitter for the Albon update and I saw his post. It was... When was it? What time was that on the stream? It was 35 minutes in. That was when I did the Rain impression. It was about 35 minutes in. Rain, get back to your own deadline stream. You've got viewers to appease. Wouldn't it be funny if we did some kind of circular thing where I tell everyone to go spam Ewan and then Ewan goes to spam Rain or Zach or whatever. So there must be a few of you kind of broadcasting multiple people at the same time. But yeah, Rain's one of the OGs. Is that why I'm growing the mustache? Yeah, of course it is. I just want to impersonate one of my all-time favorite content creators, not just limited to F1 Fantasy. Co-op stream when? I don't know. When Rain invites me onto his channel, because it's not like he hasn't invited me on at all in the last 3 months. Limitless here or Monaco? I mean, probably here, right? I think I'm going to do it here or Miami. The stream's holding up all right. Famous last words. Watch it collapse in 10 minutes. But what happened to Behrman? I never had Behrman in my team one. The other reason why I kind of like Limitless here is just because it's just different. To my 3x, my team's set up well. I've got no budget. I'll come out with 2 transfers next week anyway, even if I ran the 3x. So yeah. Wait, why don't you use Limitless why don't you use Limitless if you have Bottas? I mean, I wouldn't be like, if I had Bottas, I'm not sure I would be moving towards a Limitless to just preserve the value. But yeah, stash GP team meeting and chat. Love from Rain chat. That's so funny. Rain's an OG. Why Colapinto over Bortoletto on team 2? Because I don't love the Audi reliability. Although, I say that and watch Colapinto DNF. But I think I just have a little bit more trust in the Mercedes power units than I do in the Audi one. Rain wants us to all use the 3x so he won't shave. What was the bet What was Rain's bet again? He pinned it, right? If 100 people beat me in my own F1 fantasy league, I'm shaving the moustache on stream. Maybe I should do the same for my own moustache. But not if it's a bet. I'd just do it on stream because I want to do it on stream. It doesn't need to be a wager. McLaren versus Ferrari. So yeah, what were the Discord notes for Ryder? What did he say? So that's the Limitless. He said Ryder's thoughts were, while Limitless might not be super nailed compared to 2024, it is very good here, specifically for the stats team. It allows to get Mercedes constructor points while they are dominant and keep AB constructor price increases. Yeah, exactly my point from before. It's like you kind of have the B tier constructor, so it's a much more guaranteed price rise. So that's another, yeah, again, like kind of don't hate it. Switch Perez for Bottas. Like I'd bring in Perez, yeah. Yeah. All right. If you guys are watching Ewan stream at the same time, tell Ewan I said hi. Oh, did he? Oh, no, never mind. Don't. If Rain's doing the same thing again. Rain's doing. I've just pulled up Rain and Ewan streams on the other thing, and Ewan's got spammed as well. So don't let me don't let me tell you what to do. Bro's cooked. I have my best team in his league. Yeah, Rain's cooked 100%. Every time I think Lawson won't hurt me, he does. Shame on me. Lawson is just like that thing that's bound to hurt no matter what happens. Oh, George, sorry, I missed your question. Hey, Rob, I have my team almost same as your team one, but Bam instead of Lawson and V-Cub instead of Haas. Will you take a -10 to replace V-Cub with Mercedes? No. I would not take a -10. I would just pull the Limitless at that point. If you're getting him, if you want to bring in the Mercedes for a -10, I would just go Limitless this week. Every time I think Lawson won't hurt me, he does. Shame on me. Shame on us for choosing Lawson, yes. Would you choose Colapinto over Lawson? Yes, I would. Ralph, welcome to the subscriber gang. My team is Leclerc, Antonelli, Bam, and Ocon, Colapinto, Ferrari, Haas. Think Limitless is right to use. N23, yes, I think it is. I do. Wait, what was the VCARB Bamman lineup you said that would tip you towards Limitless? It's the same. The VCARB Bamman lineup is pretty much like the best team that came out of Australia. It was this team plus Bamman in this slot. I can't afford him because Lawson est the bed. But I think if you've got a lineup like this with Bamman, it's pretty easy Limitless. Also, I've been reading Racing Bulls quotes and they're quite down on their chances this week. They are such a, like, that's what Tom's saying in the chat. They are such a track-specific team, I feel like. They're not, like, they look really good and they're Q3 merchants at certain tracks, and then at other tracks, they kind of just, they go tits up. So sorry for the coarse language. I'm just a bit excited. It's a Friday night. It's a Limitless weekend. Maybe, yeah, and I think, yeah, I just think Racing Bulls are one of those teams, right, where Lindblad and Lawson are great. They have great routes to points beyond just overtakes and gaining positions. They got pit stops. They've got teamwork points. But then there are other weekends where last year, for example, let's go statistics. I mean, not that I need this to prove my point, but you'll see they had races of like 30 and 40 and then races where they have like 5 and 10. And so it's such a dice roll with these guys. So it's like -10 last year, then 42, then trundling around the 20s for a bit. A couple of solid scores, and then they go off the boil, then a good score, and then a bad score, and then a couple of good scores. So like they have the ceiling, they have the 40 to 45 point ceiling, but when that is, I have no idea. Like, interestingly enough, they had 40 points here last year, but Sonoda had a great race last year, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't he? I take that back. 7 positions lost. Never mind. Moving on. Limitless over 3x this week. I wouldn't say over, but I think they're both very valid. George, you got it, man. Anytime. Isaac, I think I might be pulling the 3x, which terrifies me. Well, I've pulled it already on my T3. This weekend is a 5 to 10, 100%. Quarter miles. Stream is getting out of sync with chat for me. Hope we don't have the 1 hour curse. I hope we don't either. Maybe refresh the stream. consider refreshing the stream if it's a bit laggy. I don't know what else to say really. It does have that message of warning, the current bitrate of the stream is lower than the recommended bitrate. So don't know what that means, but we're holding out. 370 concurrent viewers. You guys are absolute legends at 135 likes. Banger stream. Mate, we're Australian. Swearing is in our nature. Of course it is. Of course it is. We came out of the womb swearing. Are you taking Norris, Piastri, or Max on Limitless? Norris. RB have notoriously bad strategy calls from last year. Yeah, I feel like they had so many times last year where they left people like Sonoda or Hadjar or Lawson out on the wrong tyre strategy. They just left them out on a medium for 40 laps or something, and they're losing like 2 seconds a lap. For me, I was just, yeah, they do have pretty bad strategy calls. Josh is locked in on the 3X with Russ and Kimmy. That's like me and my T3. Is it better to 3X this week so I can Limitless next week? Potentially, yes. We got to see your team. I haven't decided what I'm doing this week. What's the Limitless team? The Limitless team is in the ticker. Is it better to Limitless this weekend if I have Verstappen instead of 3X? Is it better to Limitless this weekend if I have Verstappen? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, probably. I'd go Limitless. Yeah. White collar Pinto over Bortoletto. Audi reliability worries me in the ticker. A lot of these questions are in the ticker. It's 2 a.m. in the UK. The stream is approaching the 1 hour mark. We have almost 150 likes on the stream. We love that. And it hasn't collapsed, but I guarantee you it probably will. If I play Limitless, do I still catch the price rises of my underlying team? Yes, Limitless is original team from Australia. You'll get the price changes of that team and the points of the Limitless team. And then when the team unlocks, you will have 2 free transfers. What's the Limitless team you would go with? It is in the ticker. All right, okay, I'm going to ask you guys, because a couple of people are absolutely doing so much to stay up well into the night. I get lucky here. I'm not going to be awake for qualifying. I'm telling you guys that right now. I am not going to be awake for qualifying. I'm sleeping through. I'm sorry. I'll be awake for the sprint race. But quali is at 3 in the morning or something for me? No chance. I didn't even wake up for sprint quali yesterday. We're in the chat. What time is it? Sorry, no. What continent? No, that's also stupid. Maybe it is what continent. Yeah, let me know what continent you guys are in at the moment in the chat, because I feel like there's a lot of people who are like up at the moment. It's 3 or 4 a.m. when there it is. I knew it. I bloody knew it. There it is. It collapsed. It collapsed. The stream collapsed. And then it came back. The ticker, sorry, the ticker is the scrolling thing at the bottom, the red bar. The red bar is like Limitless team, Mercedes, Ferrari, Russell, suggested 3X, these guys and these guys. That's the ticker. The stream collapsed for a hot second, but it seems to be holding together. So yeah, lots of people in the, how about this? F1 Fantasy Gang, where it's at. New Zealand, 3 p.m. That's pretty good. Antarctica. Yeah, man, Dean. I don't even know what time it is in Antarctica. Australia. So we love, there's such an Aussie contingent. There's such an Aussie contingent in the live stream. I love that. My countrymen and countrywomen. Rep in Australia. We love that. Cali, lots of US people. And I get it. North America, East Coast, North America, West Coast. Yeah, valid. There's not that many people in London, but like Ralph's in the UK. Shout out to Ralph. I know Rebecca was in for a moment before. She's in the UK. RFT, UK Hype, that's where it's at. Neo Cynicals in the UK. Well, I'll be in the UK. I'll be moving there in like 3-4 months. So I'll be on a very different time zone mid-season. And hopefully by the mid-season, there's something up and running for this channel that will change the way. Anyway, I'm not gonna allude to it too much, but there's something very big in the works for me that's going live. That will hopefully go live around the mid-season break. Something very big in the works for F1 Fantasy. So get excited. That mid-season break will mean I can roll out a few a few big things, a few exciting changes, a few exciting upgrades. Call that my mid-season upgrade or my mid-season package. Bro moving to a goated country. Sarah's in Australia. Love that. Hey, Michael. Welcome back. Wife is tucked in and now free to hear the ramble. I mean, the stream collapsed on my side, but no one seemed to think it did on theirs. Maybe it was just a glitch, a small glitch. Because the timer is also still working. The ticker is up. My share screen is working. Yeah, absolute vibe. Yeah, Rebecca, I know you're repping the UK. It's what, like 2 a.m. in the UK. I've got to respect anyone in UK and Europe right now. 11 p.m. in Chile. Alex is in the UK. Oh, Jeff, we're both in New York. I'm just up I'm in Manhattan. So love to see an F1 fantasy representation in New York City. Bro's about to get a job with F1 TV. No, definitely not. Let's do my F1 predicts now because I'm going to forget about them like I always do. Thanks for the reminder, Zeds. Let's make my predictions. New favorite chat right here. I feel honored. It's an honor and a privilege. But nothing like F1 TV. Absolutely not. If you moving to the UK gets us Tom and Rob, I'll lose my mind. Predict the podium for the Chinese Grand Prix. I'm going to go George, Kimi, and Lewis. It's the first sprint. Where does Lewis Hamilton finish? Podium. In the sprint, which driver finishes highest? I don't even know where they're starting. I'm going to put Lawson highest. Who takes pole position? George Russell. NY homies, you know what it is. NY homies. Which driver qualifies for the Grand Prix highest? I don't bloody know. Williams are so slow. Who will set the fastest lap time of the race? Fastest lap time of the race probably, well, let's see. It's what? Is there a 2-stopper? I'm just going to throw George in there. YOLO. Do people say that still? Which team will set the fastest pit stop of the race? Mercedes. Let's go for the outside after last week. Will a safety car or VSC be required during the first 10 laps of the Grand Prix? Yes. I'm going to put that on the 2X. How many classified finishes? 17, 16. There's 6. Yeah, go that. Which of these teams will score the most points over the race weekend? McLaren. There you go. Easy. That was easy peasy. They're all going to be wrong though. All right. Rebecca is literally, anyone in the UK is absolutely holding it down for those people. Oi, Boyd Johns from Sydney. Me too, man. I grew up in Manly Beach. That's my hometown. Yeah, a couple of people in Australia repping the chat. Love to see it. Harry, UK, 10 pints deep, hoping I wake up in time for quali in 5 hours. Harry is absolutely on one. And yeah, we'll 100% do a pub meetup if or when I move to it's not an if, it's a when I move to London. Maybe I should do something in New York before I go. What do you think of Russell calling Ferrari selfish? I think it's extremely rich from George Russell. Can't have it both ways, George. Can't have it both ways. We're just under an hour out from the deadline. I think I might just go Limitless this week. I think I might go Limitless because I got a 3x on Team 3. I want to be different with my strategies. I don't want to have two... I kind of want to go Limitless. Osiris, Death Proof Car. Yeah, and NYC reppin'. Bill's Gang. I think, yeah, isn't Miguel Bill's Mafia as well? I have Russell, Hulkenberg, Lindblad, Sainz, Behrman, Mercedes, Racing Bulls, Deepsters. I'd probably pull the wild card and take out Hulkenberg and Sainz and Mercedes. Or just take out Hulkenberg and Sainz and leave Mercedes in. Yeah, I would do that. I'd take out Hulkenberg and Sainz and put in like a Behrman and whoever else you can afford. San Diego, repping on the West Coast. In the UK, I feel bad for most of the season for you guys since most race times are usually Sunday afternoons. I don't feel bad. I love being in the US, so in the UK it's tough because I love starting my Sundays when I'm in New York, waking up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and just starting the race, and then I have my whole Sunday still to go. Whereas I feel as though in the UK, it's like you're carving out a chunk of your Sunday afternoon, which is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I love watching Formula One, but there's I much prefer waking up in the morning. Rebecca had a power nap. Love that. If I activate Limitless, can I still change the team before the deadline? Yeah, you can make any number of unlimited transfers on Limitless. Yeah, I think I'm coming around to Limitless just because I want to split my strategy of a 3x and a Limitless. Mate, your Limitless team in the ticket doesn't seem to add up. How do I have Russell? Because it's Limitless. You have unlimited budget, Sam. So Limitless means you can have all the best drivers and teams for 1 week only. If I Limitless, still Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell, Antonelli. No, in the scroll at the bottom, the red thing with the moving text on the bottom, that's my Limitless team that I will go with if I activate the chip in the next half an hour. Go Bills. Rent is nuts, isn't it? Yeah, it's not to do with the rent. I've been here for 4 years. I think I'm ready for a change. What to hear your thoughts? Here is my pick from Australia. Russell, Charles, 2 VCAR, Bortoletto, Ferrari, and Haas. I'm doing Limitless, 2 Ferrari and Mercedes and teams, as well as Plus Max. Yeah, it looks good. Volody, I don't quite know how to pronounce that, but I would probably put Norris in over Verstappen. Quite nice to live in CT. Usually watch F1 races Sunday mornings, no social events. 100%. Connecticut's so beautiful. Connecticut's so gorgeous. I have friends that live up in Rowayton and Stamford, and going up there, once, twice a year, it's gorgeous. What chat is he reading? The live chat. Am I missing messages? Unless you're referring to the red banner on the bottom of the screen, which has my Limitless and 3x teams. Benit is saying, I'm thinking Russell to Antonelli and Lawson to Behrman. I wouldn't get rid of Russell. If you have Russell, I think he's an easy hold. Ty Hall, if you could change VCARB for Haas on your team 3, would you? Yeah, I could, but I had Bortoletto and Hulkenberg, and they were my priority transfers. Unfortunately, it means a triple up. So if Lindblad or Lawson DNFs on my team 3, that team is getting sent into the shadow realm. Any Limitless enjoyers? I could be one of them, Toback. I could be a Limitless enjoyer. Do you have a team in the McLaren Mini League? Yes, my team 1 is entered into the McLaren Mini League. Yeah, Danny, respect, up and awake from the UK. Have you made any transfers? Not on my team 1. I have not. Still 2 out of 2, but I will probably go... Wait, I just lost my train of thought there. Bowie Knife, I missed your message. Sorry, there's a few questions I need to catch up on I've missed. I'm trying to find your message, Bowie. I think I've missed it. Can you put it in? If I missed your question, can you put it in the chat again? Because I've probably read a few and then others have come through that I've not had the chance to look at. Motivation Fuels, what to do with current team? Verstappen, Ocon, Gasly, Lindblad, Lawson, Ferrari, Audi, Limitless. I'd probably... what's the price rise for Gasly? It's not low, is it? It's 9 to 11 points for a minimum rise. It's not impossible. He does look good. You could probably get away with a Limitless on that Motivation Fuels. What to do? I think I answered that. I can't remember. If I take Hulk out with a transfer and play Limitless, the Hulk transfer will not go through. If you make transfers and then activate Limitless, the transfers won't go through, and you'll have your team after China. Have your team from Australia, after China. Why Lando over Norris? I think I know what you mean, William. Why Lando over Max? Yeah. Max just looks really out of sorts. He was not happy with the car either. Like, he was so unhappy with the Red Bull and how it drove. I can paste. Hi Rob. Thanks Bowie. Yeah. Hi Rob. If I have just Hulkenberg losing value, should I save one transfer Hulk Bortoletto and no chip, or Limitless is okay? If I had a team like that, Bowie, I would probably go Hulkenberg down. Well, I guess that's because Hulkenberg's now less than Bortoletto, isn't he? I think he's what, like 0. Yeah, he's 0.8. Hulkenberg. Should I save one transfer Hulk Bortoletto? Yeah, I just roll it. Yeah, just roll it, Bowie. Sorry, I'm trying to piece together. I've somehow kept Tom alive for the last hour and a half, and he's still vibing in the chat. If you guys don't follow Potpan Man F1 on Twitter, he is an absolute must follow for F1 fantasy content. So check Tom out. Literally stream of consciousness vibes on his 3x and Limitless decision this afternoon / this evening. Leonardo, and you're up late too. Wow, so many people here in the chat. I'm probably doing, if I do Limitless, I'm probably doing Norris in that 5th slot. Zeds. Mike is doing the absolute Lord's work and saying drop a like on the stream. We're 45 minutes out from the deadline. I'm probably gonna have to make a decision soon. Yeah, we all miss Tom's videos. I miss the violin section especially. The greatest F1 fantasy segment. I really want to go, okay, let's have a think about my team, right? Let's have a think about, I don't want to just like stew on the stream and not. So I can do this for 3x, which means, like, I put Colapinto in here, right? And this would be my team for Japan. 2 transfers. And then can I get to the Mercedes constructor? Like, what could I do there? Haas would probably go up 0.6. So I'm 0.3 ahead of Haas. Russell goes up 0.3. And then, like, of the drivers, that's just Perez, right? It's not great. Hulkenberg probably comes down, though. Lawson might too. So I probably can't. Well, I've got Lawson, so it doesn't really make sense. It's really just the falling Hulkenberg and an unreliable Perez for Japan. Like, that would be my Japan team potentially, which I'm not that pumped about. So maybe but you want at Japan, like, it's hard to overtake, so you probably want 2 big constructors. It's tricky. Yeah, I don't know. 413 for Leonida. So that must be like the Middle East, I'm guessing, like Eastern Europe, I'm guessing. Leclerc out, Hamilton in, only for China. Okay, let's talk about this one. So for me, Leclerc is the better longer term hold of the 2 assets, in my opinion. This is a Hamilton track. He lives and breathes for Shanghai. He's got a number of wins here. He has... he's obviously done much better than Charles as well. And I think, is he even higher in the projections? He's just higher by a few points. The thing is with Lewis, right? I want to believe that he's going to be a much better asset in F1 Fantasy in 2026. I believe that will happen. But does that happen immediately, or does it take him kind of 5 to 10 races into the season to actually understand what his production levels are at? Because I don't feel confident to say that he's going to be able to deliver 25 to 30 points a race. In the back of my mind, I'm still worried there's like a Q1 exit. I mean, probably not, because the cars in the back half of the grid are that dreadful. The thing is with Lewis, right? As with any 2X driver or top driver, you want you don't want to have them in for just 1 week. I think if you're entertaining Hamilton for just this week, then activate the Limitless. Like if you really want a piece of the Hamilton pie, then I would just go down the Limitless route. Whereas Leclerc, for me, I think he's the better overall driver and is probably going to, over the next 3 to 5 races, outscore Hamilton. I think Hamilton, we could get to Japan and he could be like 6th fastest again. And I then worry, like that's a lot of money tied up in a driver for just 1 week to transfer them back out when you might have other fires to put out. With just how many DNFs for these B tier drivers we're seeing, I just think if you want Hamilton this week, I would just go for the Limitless. Like given a lot of us have the Ferrari constructor, we're already getting a lot of Hamilton production there too. So yeah, I think if you want Hamilton this week, Buzz, I just go for Limitless. VCarb over Haas, nah, Haas I prefer. Russell and Haas out for Mercedes and Perez in. No, I would not do that, Adam. I'd probably go Limitless if you want to get Mercedes constructed this week. Who do you recommend besides 2 Mercedes? Suggested Limitless team is in the red banner on the bottom of the video. Dean's asking, any theories about how Bahrain and Saudi will affect price changes? Well, they won't, will they? Because if the races are not going ahead, prices will just stay frozen until we get to Miami after Japan, I would think. Or is that sarcastic? Maybe you're being sarcastic and you've just trolled me. Lovely. Do you like Limitless or 3X more, disregarding you wanting to be different from your T3? I think... I want to give you an answer. But I don't have one. I know... What else have we got? I think Tom's locked in his team. Nope. So there's Tom's stream of consciousness. Also, so that's Tom who's in the chat, one of the OGs. Quinton, who's a new YouTuber this year, I would highly recommend following. I don't know if he looks like he's streaming. Looks like Zach, Adam's obviously up and running as well. I would definitely follow Tom if you haven't already on Twitter X. Good luck, real funny talk. Michael, future Rob's problem is what Ewan would say about Japan moves after the Limitless on Team 1. I mean, after the Limitless if I come back to Japan, right? I have 2 transfers. I have this team. If I have this team in Japan, then what do I do? It'll probably just be putting out the fires of whatever drivers of these guys DNF in China. Haas will be fine. But I think it'll probably be, yeah, we'll see. I honestly think it'll be just addressing the transfers in my B tiers. Unpopular thought: Hamilton will outscore Leclerc in the next few races. Thoughts on Ocon? That was the most contrasting opinion. Dania, Hamilton will outscore Leclerc in the next few races. He might. I think this week definitely he outscores Charles, but I don't. Well, not definitely. I think he's a good chance to outscore Charles. But thoughts on Ocon in for Sainz? Yeah. Yep, I would definitely put Ocon in, but I'd probably put Behrman in beforehand if you haven't already got him. Jing, I have Russell, Leclerc, Behrman, Bortoletto, Lindblad, Ferrari, V-Cup. So torn. With that team, Jing, I would go Limitless. Lawson or Colapinto if I already have 2 Racing Bulls. Colapinto. Thinking of doing the 3X chip on Russell. Team is Russell, Leclerc, Behrman, Colapinto, Lindblad, Ferrari, Audi. Yeah, that works. Kaiser, which drivers would you prioritize transferring out? Sainz and Hadjar, Albon and Hulkenberg, 2 different teams. Gut feeling says Hulkenberg and Albon. Oh, they're both pretty terrible, aren't they? Hulkenberg and Albon versus Sainz and Hadjar. They're both terrible. Probably, yeah, I'd say probably the Hadjar one. I don't know. They're both terrible. Hadjar because he's got a high threshold over the next 2 weeks to reach. Is it worth dropping Colapinto for Bam? And if it means I have to drop Haas for Audi, no. I'd keep Colapinto and Haas. Yeah, but come Miami, could it be as heavily weighted as Australia or like Japan? We'll put it this way, Dean, like for this week, right? This is going to be the hardest week to squeeze budget value increases because we don't have historical data to go off. And so the thresholds are going to be lower this week than they will be for the rest of the season for B tier drivers. Like we usually have 1 to 2 drivers in the negatives for a max price rise. These guys both had great races, and I think that's just a product of the overtake. So we might well see low thresholds more often this season. But last year, you'd usually have 1 or 2 negative scores required for a max rise. I'm not really any closer to a decision on Limitless or 3X, but at the same time, I also think that I'm not fussed if I go one or the other. I'm really not bothered. I might. Won't you have 3 transfers in Japan if you go Limitless? No, you only have 2 after a Limitless. I've got Russell and Antonelli, so I'm set on the 3X. Nice, but I've got Lawson, Lindblad, Bortoletto with VCARB. Bit wary of running triple VCARB. How many transfers would you make and who? I'd probably take out Lawson if you're tripled up on VCARB. Same T1 as you, downgrade Russell for Antonelli to switch out Lawson for Bam and 3X chip on Antonelli. And who's the 2X? Leclerc, I'm guessing. Syndex? It's fine. Thinking about using wildcard this week to get Russell and Mercedes without taking -10. Get Russell and Mercedes. Excuse me. Willie, I'd save the wildcard, honestly. I'd just wait for the extra value increases on Haas for 1 more week because a lot of people will have them too. Being patient is the name of the game in F1 Fantasy, and using those chips at the right time can definitely save you a lot. Crazy Canuck. Bortoletto, greater chance of budget increase than Ocon? Yeah, it is, but there's not much in it. So he's not changing his team 1. I am probably going to, if I change, I could probably do that. Do I do that? Do I do that? I don't know. Thoughts of your Limitless team, but put in Max for Lewis. I think Lewis is better this week. Hey Rob, no one has Lewis Hamilton, so huge differential as well. 7:51 in the morning. AK, Leclerc, Antonelli, Ocon, Bam, and Lindblad, Ferrari, Haas. What to do with this team? I think that team's perfectly fine. What about downgrading? Can you? Oh goodness, I'm sorry, I'm really tired. I'd probably just Limitless that Anurag. Jeremy, you're grinding on a Saturday, my friend. Got to respect the hustle. Any other news on F1 and F1 Fantasy? I'm coming around to Limitless. I think, I'll post my team in the next 15 to 20 minutes. I'm coming around to Limitless just simply because I want to split my strategy, and I've already got the 3x boost on my team 3. So I do want to mix it up a little bit and potentially just go Limitless on the team 1. But that's the only reason. It's the only reason. Yeah, you'd wish we weren't sitting on the fence so much. I think I'm coming around to Limitless personally. Yeah, I think I am. And my Limitless team's in the scroller on the bottom, so you already know what I'd put in my team if I went it that way. I think I wrote my question bad. Kaiser says, one team I have both Sainz and Hadjar and want to get rid of one. The other team has Hulkenberg and Albon. Oh, okay. So yeah, team 1, I'd get rid of Hadjar. Team 2, I would get rid of Hulkenberg. Austin, Leclerc, Piastri, get an Antonelli, Bama, Bortoletto, Lindblad, Ferrari, Haas. Any other changes? No, I think that looks good. Split strategy, surely. Yep. Is Haas triple too risky? It is. Drakowson. BTW, just check Twitter. The content creators continue to waffle on. Doing us dirty, Michael. Doing us dirty. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Enjoy the team 2. I'm not rolling anything, Rebecca. I'm just leaving it as is. I'm rolling a transfer. That's all I'm going to do. Kimi Antonelli 2x. That is it. Nothing else. Rolling a transfer for extra flexibility in Japan for that team. So I think it's what? It's almost 10:30. I think it's going to be Limitless, roller transfer 3x. I think that's what I'm going to do. So you can I should Limitless. All right. Let's just activate the chip. I'm not really bothered too much if it's 3x or Limitless at this point, because I've talked about it for so long and you guys are probably sick of me just waffling. So yeah, 3x is great. Roller transfer is great. Limitless is great. 3x Russell, great. 2x, I'd prefer Antonelli, but I wouldn't be bringing in Hamilton. If you've already got Leclerc, I would just hold. Saturday grind at the Mitre 10, mate. Yeah, love that, mate. Mighty helpful, Mitre 10. Enjoy, mate. Enjoy. Mitre 10's the go-to for me back in Australia. Imagine Limitless with Ferrari and McLaren taking the P3 and P4. Imagine if McLaren cooked. I'm just going to activate the Limitless, ladies and gentlemen. 450 of you in the chat. You better drop a like when I activate this Limitless chip. We're going hard in the paint. We are going hard in the paint. So you better drop that like when that applied chip comes through, because we are going hard. But I'm waiting in case we have any late mail. That's why I'm reluctant to activate it. Oh, it doesn't really matter, because once the chip's active, like, I'll just not have any dodgy assets. The like button is below the video. It's not the love heart that you're pressing in the chat. Michael is locked on Limitless Team 1 3x T2. Must I prep for Japan 2A Constructors? Yeah, but I wouldn't be trading in 2A Constructors this week. 2x on Leclerc, Antonelli. I'm doing the opposite. 3x on Team 1, Limitless on T3. Right on. Best Limitless lineup is in the red bar on the bottom of the video. Team 2, White Collar Pinto over Bortoletto. Reliability. I don't trust Audi, but famous last words. Watch Colapinto hit that DNF. Can't wait for my teams to be sent into the 5th dimension this weekend with DNFs. What's your Limitless team? It's on the red banner on the bottom. Wouldn't it be better for you to Limitless Team 2 and 3x Team 1? It could be. The thing is, though, so I'd made my transfers already for Team 2. And that had Hulkenberg, so I didn't want Hulkenberg. In that. So if I hit Limitless, Hulkenberg will return. I don't want that. So Norris is 5th driver for me, I think. Yep. I got my Team 2 McLaren covered with Limitless for differential. Norris, Piastri, Hamilton, Russell, Antonelli, McLaren, Mercedes. That'd bang. 470 people watching, only 200 likes. Likes are free, people. Hit the like button. Sim Saladin, thank you. Drakowson, is it worth dropping a no negative on a T2-3 for variance? Yeah, 100%. Who's the 5th driver? Norris. Russell and Haas out for Mercedes and Perez. Please. Nah, Adam, I'm saying stick with Russell and Haas. Who's your 2nd driver? Yeah, but I would just whack. Why Norris over Max? Because Red Bull looks dreadful. It's not the best Limitless race. It's not. I don't think it could. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's necessarily going to be better or worse. I don't think it's going to be like that much better or worse. Like, I'll be honest. If league code is also in the red bar on the bottom, like, I think honestly, if it's 140 point delta here, it's like not that much different in Miami or in Monaco. And look, even if it goes wrong, like, it's just a game, right? I know that sounds like such a cop-out answer to say, but, you know, I've been so stressed out in the past over like decisions, and I'm just like at peace. I'm so zen. I think because I know I've already got a 3x going on another team that I'm very happy with. It's not the end of the world if I want to split it up a little bit. Seriously, hit the like button or send Rob dollars for a new laptop. The stream hasn't crashed. That's the biggest revelation. It's not what my Limitless team is. It's not what I'm doing. The stream has still been vibing the whole way through. We got 500 people and I'm about to pull trigger on the Limitless. You know, it's easy to say, and then as soon as it gets to clicking the button, that's when it's like, is it really what you want to do? It's the highest powered chip in the game and you're using it in the second race. It's so not like me though. Like, I'm so boring when it comes to F1 fantasy. I'm not someone that really just goes all in right off the rip. But I think I'm going to go Limitless, guys. Let's just do it. Let's just rip it off. And I think it's probably because Mercedes are dominant. They'll probably, to be honest, they will stay dominant for the next 5-6 races minimum. They'll probably be dominant all season. But why? Like, I kind of want to have a constructor and a Mercedes driver now before everyone gets to Antonelli and Mercedes in Miami, if that makes sense. So that's the reason why I'm like, it feels like I'm getting as much out of Mercedes right now while they're very good. And they're still going to be very good, but, you know, we will probably be running Antonelli and Mercedes in 2 races' time. And then I'm like, well, right now most people can only get 2 of Mercedes in terms of Antonelli and Russell. I don't know. It's a tricky one. But I think I'm gonna pull trig on Limitless. It's risky though. It's hugely risky. Like it's not clear cut at all. It's by no means a guarantee it works out. But I think also Rebecca, I think Mike was doing Team 1 Limitless, Team 3 3x boost. Or the other way around. How big do my nads need to be to choose Lindblad over Norris on my Limitless team? Well, you wouldn't be able to get through the door with them that big if you were running a Lindblad. Hey guys, I tried the like button. I swear it's free. Try it. Vignado, you're an OG. You're an OG. Don't jinx it, Rob. It is just a game. It's only just only deciding between a 50 or 150 point delta. Put it this way, if my Limitless bangs this weekend, I'm going into work on Monday and telling every single person who knows nothing about F1 fantasy that my Limitless absolutely hit. We're going to pull the trigger, guys. We are going all in. We are going all in on Limitless. Let's just do it. Continue. Unlimited transfers allowed with no cost cap restriction. This will reset after the race week. We are on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. Let's go. That was really unnecessary, Rob. Why do you need to embarrass yourself on stream like that? Your mother would be so disappointed and embarrassed for you. We're on it, boys and girls. We are on it. Is it just me, or do I just love the symmetry of a Mercedes on one side and a Charles and a Lewis and a Ferrari on the other? We are a go on the Limitless. There you go. There's my team. George Russell, 2x boost. Boom. Done. Happy birthday. Let's do it. We are locked in. Anyway, that was the biggest anticlimax of all time. Yeah, without the widget chat, I think the stream is smoother. I agree. We haven't really had an issue. So, yeah, that's that. Don't think that logic checks out. I don't know what my logic was, but it definitely doesn't check out. I used my Limitless at Monaco last year and got the perfect team, but I don't know if lightning strikes twice. I'm using it on Team 1. You never know. Like, my strategy for one of these 2 teams will be a Limitless in Monaco and a Limitless in Miami, probably. Probably this team will be a Limitless in Monaco. And then this I have, Team 2 is an absolute dog's breakfast. I don't know what's going on there. Thanks, Tom. I might just post the team now. It's locked in, so why not? That means enough people have got time to see my terrible decision. The only decision that remains is, do I go the McLaren constructor instead of the Ferrari constructor? Because But then you guys know my luck is terrible. When it comes to chips, Limitless. All right, the team is up on Twitter. Give it a like, guys. Maybe the DNS. Okay, it's up. I'm with Bowie. Rob, is your team one your main team? We just have the same team, so don't need you to get wishy-washy on me. Yeah, team one's always going to be my main team. Obviously, I want team one to do best, but this year they all count for prizes. So bang. Let's go. Let's go. Piastri P1 incoming. I'm going T1 with Ferrari and team 2, Limitless and McLaren. Right. What other race are you thinking of using Limitless if not using it on this race? So the plan is for this team one, I will be planning the Limitless here and then 3X later in the season. For team 3, it will be 3X here, Limitless in Monaco. Team 2, probably a Limitless in Japan or Miami, depending on when it makes sense. 3X is not... Like, I'm not out of the woods with a 3X in Japan either. But for me, Limitless, I'd have Monaco and China as the 2 right now, and then Miami after that, and then Japan third. Why are we this confident? We're not confident. Cue Limitless music. I'd cue the violin for my team. Let's have a look at the... I want to have a look at... So, McLaren, right? What do we got McLaren on the Sims? Seems conservative. I thought the Constructor would be higher in the Sims. I really did. Because, yeah. Limitless. Yeah, I've got like a enormous delta. I mean, we all do if you're running Limitless, right? Sorry, Dean, I missed your question. Price order. What does that mean? Lawson or Colapinto? Colapinto, you might have convinced me to smash the wild card. Want to get Russell and Mercedes now, grab all those points. Go for it. Depends how differential you want to be. I think, yeah, McLaren's the differential play. Having 1 is great. Having 2 is, yeah, pretty brave. Ditch Hamilton for Max? No way. You're going to see red, but Ferrari red. I'm sad for you as a Ferrari fan. Ferrari should be in the left prime team position. T2, these are all final teams. These are all locked in. These are all locked in. I'm just seeing if there's any other news. It doesn't look like there is. What's everyone else doing? I know Rain's on the 3X. Ewan probably hasn't activated a chip. I don't know what anyone else is doing. But yeah, the stream's holding up all right. I'm quite happy with that. I guess my only decision remains is, like, do I put in another McLaren driver? I'm happy to just stick with the Sims, personally. Let's go back to the chat. Alrighty. Ditch Hamilton for Max. No way. Thoughts on taking Bortoletto over Colapinto? I would go Colapinto this week. I think the Constructor will be tight. I think it will be too. I think Verstappen better than Norris. Betting on Maxi driver of the day tomorrow into positions gain and overtakes being more than Norris will. Potentially, yeah. Good luck, everyone. I'm going to watch the pre-sprint race show. Tom David Ford, sorry if I missed your question, but I appreciate the donation all the same. I guess 3X is the best time to use it. It's pretty good to use it right now. Is it worth changing out Lawson for Lindblad for budget building? Yeah, definitely. Just joined the stream. How come you chose Limitless for Team 1? Because all my assets were increasing in price. I like the delta. I wanted a different strategy to my Team 3. I just felt like a lot of 3X chips is a lot of eggs in baskets. I got Limitless on team 2, nothing on team 1 and 3. Ewan isn't limitlessing. Yeah, I didn't think he was. I think he was more 3xing. Hi Rob, my current team was Russell Leclerc. Should I get Russell Antonelli and 3x to move to 2A Constructors in Japan or go Limitless? Is there no fear in the Limitless earns that McLaren are actually fast? I mean, potentially. But like, who would I take out? The Constructor or Leclerc? Why Norris over Piastri? Norris has looked better. It costs more. There's probably more people that have Piastri from Australia. Like, hardly anyone owns Norris, right? What's his ownership? 20%? Less, 9%. Like, huge differential. Massive differential, 9%. If Norris scores like 40 points, that's going to be massive. No one will have Lando Norris. Rain is 3xing. Yeah, I knew Rain was always going to 3x. Don't elongate the purchase for a new laptop just because this stream is going well. We as a community need a laptop. Yeah, but the stream held up. The stream held up so well today. I just shouted into the microphone. So maybe we don't need a laptop. Maybe it's maybe it's just doing its own thing. What's the difference between V2 and post quali? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I think maybe there's an Albon grid penalty. I'm not really sure. 370, it's like 2 points in it. It's like nothing in it. Problem is, I think the Sims are a little bullish. I think they're a little higher than I'd give them credit for. What happened to Lawson? He sucked. I have him in my team too. In my team 1 as a budget building asset. What chip would you use for Hamilton, Hulkenberg, Lindblad, Behrman, Antonelli, Ferrari, Haas? I'd probably take out Hamilton. Oh no, actually Hamilton feels good this week. Hulkenberg, I meant to take out Hulkenberg for Colapinto if you've got enough money. I think there's an argument for triple McLaren, but Piastri isn't looking anywhere near as good as Lando. Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Cisco Jedi 76, welcome as a champion. Thank you for joining, legend. welcome as a member of the Hub Club. Sounds a bit sus. I might regret no chip, but gonna roll a transfer. I've got no chip on team 2, right? So it's perfectly fine not to go one of those ways. Team will increase in price. Limitless for it's like 150 point delta. It's like the delta is going to be the same at Miami, Japan, Monaco. Like, I don't think we need to get too worked up about delta, because it'll just be whoever scores well now will be caught up by the people that score well in like a couple races time. No Limitless triple Mercedes. Thanks, Swaya. What chip would you use for Hamilton? I think I answered that one. I'd go. I didn't actually answer that one. Hamilton, Antonelli, what chip would you use? Lindblad, Behrman. I'd go Limitless on that, I probably would, because Hamilton looks good and you could get a rise out of him, but I don't think I'd be using the 3x on a Hamilton Antonelli personally. So I'd probably go Limitless for that. Anurag, did Antonelli in for Leclerc and Colapinto in for Bortoleto to play the 3x on Russ and the 2x on Antonelli? 2 sideways? No. Definitely not. Definitely not sideways. See, the Sims, I think for me, I'm not going to hang my hat on them, but they will help me validate my decision making. Like, for me personally, if I'm going through the process of saying, okay, these drivers or these constructors work for my team, I'm going to go that way, and then I see the Sims justify that, then I feel good about it. But I'm only really worried about my decision if there's a huge gulf between the assets I want to bring in versus what the Sims are suggesting. Who do you expect better reliability from? Ferrari or McLaren? Ferrari, probably. I also just love the off-the-line starts, right? So again, I don't know how good... We want to see at least 2 or 3 races worth of starts to know if this Ferrari strength off the line is that powerful. And maybe it's nerfed, 2 or 3, 4 races from now. But if we're seeing Leclerc and Hamilton start 6th or 5th in the Grand Prix, and then off the line they're down into 2nd and 3rd on the turn 1, like that's massive. And that's kind of why I back them to get the overtakes and to recover from a bad qualifying. Even if like, for instance, right? Like Charles starting down here. He started 4th last week and was first in turn 1. Like Charles could very, very easily be 3rd by turn 1 if he gets the start right. And there's 4/10 separating Charles and Lando, which is not much. Charles actually never really got a great lap in sprint qualifying. Like you can see he had a faster time than both Piastri and Lando in Q1, and then also had a faster time than Piastri and Lando in Q2. He just had a terrible terrible Q3 lap. It was pretty much the same time as his Q2 time. So it just wasn't. I just think Leclerc's going to be good this week. I'm pretty confident Ferrari will get it done. Why not Ferrari? I did that. Bortoleto, Colapinto. I mean, McLaren start seemed decent as well. I don't know if it's as good as Ferrari, but it's not bad. Yeah, you're not wrong. Do we think Red Bull will have sorted their pace issues? I just don't think Max felt that confident in the car. Everything he was saying was like, oh, I think this car is undrivable. I think it's crap. I think it's not really something he enjoys driving. So, yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in Max and Red Bull for this weekend, Limitless or otherwise. Does the Albon pit start make him more likely to drop in price since he will be behind a bit from just turn 1? First time doing this, so I'm not fully sure I'm thinking this correctly. So with Albon Kaiser, he has, like, any driver that starts P22 or from the pit lane has an instant advantage for additional positions to gain and overtakes. The problem is with Albon and Williams and Cadillac and Aston Martin is that they're all crap. They all are slow. Williams especially is one of those teams where it's just losing time per lap because it's so overweight. And I genuinely think that it's not, like, regardless of whether it's Sainz or a Cadillac driver or Williams or Albon or whoever it is starting in pit lane, like, they're not going to be fast enough to, like, make a bunch of overtakes. Sure, they might get the odd, like, gaining a position, but I don't think you'd really entertain. Wouldn't really entertain that this week, Williams assets. No Max in my team. I just don't think Red Bull have a car this week that's going to be competitive. He might. Look, Max may well prove me wrong. I don't doubt that. If I come away with like 100, 150 points, not 150, 100, anything more than 100, I'd be very, very delighted with this Limitless. But watch the midfield drivers just interchange overtakes the whole time and absolutely screw this Limitless team. Good luck, Tom. Tom's locked in the 3X. I'm guessing Ewan has as well. Rain definitely was. Almost at 300 likes, guys. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. It's just below the video, right where it says deadline stream. Let's see. What else we got? What else we got? Yash is asking Hamilton or Leclerc. Leclerc. Max always does. Yeah, he does. Take a -10 to get your team 3. Setup. Depends what your existing team is, Kit Mencher. Russell 2 times Antonelli, Bortoleto, Bam, and Colapinto, Mercedes V-Carb. How can you afford that, Seth? Russell, Antonelli, Mercedes V-Carb. I don't think you can afford a Mercedes. I assume you mean Ferrari V-Carb, right? I don't think anyone can afford a Mercedes V-Carb with Russell and Antonelli. Would anything interfere with your strategy now that Bahrain and Saudi are gone? Potentially. Not really, no. I mean, maybe. the thing is with the 3x chip is that I'm glad I'm using it this weekend because it means I can potentially limitless Japan with budget building assets and then get to Miami and have a team that's kind of, well, actually, no. I don't know if I'd want a limitless Japan because then I only have 2 transfers. I have to think about it, but I don't think it changes that much, to be honest, no. Thanks, Tom. Thank you for dropping through, my friend. I hope it wasn't too dour. At least it kept you awake, right? And I think like kind of what you were saying before, like pre-X makes a lot of sense. I honestly was toying with the idea of it as well for the same reason that you were. It's like use the 3X now because there's a lot of opportunities for the Limitless over the next few races. Whereas like 3X, once you use it, you're waiting until Singapore potentially, right? I can make your T3 in 2 moves, even though all assets increasing. Lawson sketchiest. Would you rather run your T3 or Team 1 Limitless? If I had my Team 1 from, if my Team 3 was what it was in Australia, I would run Limitless. But I had to take out 2 Audi assets, so that's why I went for the 3X there. Whereas the Limitless made sense for me because I didn't have any transfers that felt obvious enough to make. Bortoletto for Behrman or Racing Bulls for Haas? Bortoletto for Behrman. Happy Friday the 13th to you, Max. What about leaving the original Team 1 untouched, no chip usage, say Limitless for Monaco? Well, I think my Team 3 will be a Limitless Monaco move. Is Col DNF risk more than Audi's? Probably not, actually. Good luck, Miguel. Thank you for the love. 5 minutes, guys. Get those teams locked in. I genuinely don't think you could go wrong with a 3X or a Limitless or a roll transfer this week. Like, they are all very good strategies. And what I was saying before was that there's just so many ways to play this game well. And I'm generally okay with this Limitless move. I do have some doubts about like how I'm going to use this 3X chip, but let's cross that bridge when we get to it. Like to Antonelli for 2X on Antonelli, or is it 2 sideways? And it's not a waste of a transfer at all. I back, if you can get to Anurag, if you can get to Antonelli this week without taking a hit, it's absolutely a god upside there. Existing team is Piastri, Antonelli, Behrman, Lindblad, Bortoletto, Ferrari. Worth taking the -10 for your Team 3, 101.5. I wouldn't take the -10. I wouldn't take the -10, Kit Mencher. Jessa, Lindblad, Colapinto, Ocon, or Behrman, Perez, Bortoletto. Lindblad, Colapinto, Ocon. I don't want to be boring and copying the Limitless, but I think the benefits outweighs doing nothing. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Do I go Limitless and take the hit on Hulk price drop, or do I swap out Hulk with Colapinto and 3X where my team will be Russ and do the 3X, Ben? Much prefer that. Devs, thank you for the donation, my friend. I greatly appreciate it. It's very generous. Thank you for coming through today. Genuinely much appreciated. We'll go straight towards my new laptop upgrades in the summer. If people can't afford Mercedes, Ferrari, and Georgia Monaco, doesn't the delta just diminish like crazy? It does. It does. That's why like waiting that long is such a disadvantage. Isaac. Leonardo's locked in Limitless for Team 1, 3X for Team 2, roll to transfer for Team 3. Gonna go watch the sprint now. Good luck, everyone. Have a great fun stream as always, Rob. See ya. Thank you, Leonardo. Have a great evening. Prozania, Limitless team. Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc, Norris, Verstappen. Looks good. 2X on Leclerc or Hamilton. Leclerc. Dean, thanks for the stream, Rob. I'm sure I'll be chatting shit in 10 minutes when we've just seen Colapinto on the wall. Yeah, me too. Speak to you soon, mate. Z YouTube, I've gone with your Team 1. Good luck, Z. Is getting Lawson out worth a transfer? Everyone else should rise in budget. No, keep Lawson. Would you transfer Hamilton or Leclerc to Antonelli? I would transfer Hamilton. Lindblad or Ocon? Ocon to Lindblad or save a transfer? Good question. I would save a transfer, I think. I mean, the budget rise for both is not too bad. Lindblad's what, 2? Ocon's. Yeah, It's a tough one. I'd probably say the transfer for me personally. Max on Limitless instead of Norris. Good luck. Yeah, you could do it. Good luck by Martina. Is Japan a good Limitless track because it's difficult to overtake? Very much indeed it is, Teddy. So torn between Norris and Verstappen for the final spot. We are at 298 likes. 2 more likes, guys. 2 more likes. Good luck with your teams, guys. I'm going to just check if there's any late mail on Twitter. Doesn't look like there is. Oh, there it is. Stream's gone. Oh, it's back. It's back. See, it keeps dropping and then coming back. So Rain has gone no chip. Ewan has gone no chip. Tom has gone chip. Adam has gone chip. Yeah, it's pretty mixed. I'm the only CC with a Limitless, so I'm okay with that. Good luck, everyone. 300 likes. You guys are unreal. What a stream. Bless up, everybody. 3 minutes to go. Get those teams locked in. If I've gone Mercedes and Ferrari and have 4 B2 drivers, no negative worth it? Yeah, potentially. Oh, Zach also on the Limitless? Okay. Zach, yeah, you're right. Zach was going Limitless. I didn't think Rain didn't go Limitless. I thought Rain went no chip. I just saw Rain, my fantasy team for China. Hulk into Ocon, roller transfer. Yeah, lots of options here. But yeah, thank you guys. Two minutes to go. So get those teams locked in. I'm probably going to cut the stream right on the hour, just so I can get across to the sprint race. But yeah, any last questions? Drop them in the chat. What a great stream this has been. 4,500 viewers over the course of the 2 hours. Pretty awesome. Still 260 of you hanging out. So pretty happy with that for a Friday night. Very, very happy for a Friday night. Yeah, what a stream. I'm honestly quite content. Like, the only thing I'm not sure about is the 3x planning for my T1. But I'm happy I split the strategy. Like, what will be, will be. I already kind of feel a bit more optimistic about Team 3 because it's got a great budget building foundation, but, you know, we'll see. Thing with Limitless, right, is that you kind of obviously want your 7 Limitless assets to do well, but then you're hoping for the other assets in your team as well to succeed. So like I obviously want Ferrari and Leclerc to do well, but I also still need Haas, Lindblad, Lawson. Who am I forgetting? Bortoletto. Like I need all of them to do well as well. So it's a tricky one. Limitless locked in for Vincent. If I don't touch my team, will I go 4 transfers next week? You can have a maximum of 3, Nikki. Nutty, sorry. Not Nikki, Nutty. But yeah, that's the deadline, guys. I'm going to drop for the street. I'm going to drop now because I want to catch the start of the sprint. But thank you guys all for watching. It's been an absolute ripper of a stream. 2 out of 2 to start the year. Very happy with that. Good luck with your teams, guys. I'll be back with my usual final thoughts, team selection videos for Japan. But yeah, if you haven't already liked the stream, please do so. But yeah, thank you for coming through. It's been a great Friday night spent with you guys. So really enjoyed it as always. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there for now, guys. So thanks very much. Good luck with your teams, and I'll see you all very, very soon.